the past 3 months, Ghana has witnessed at least 5 reported cases of collapsed buildings under construction, some of which resulted in the loss of lives. 3 incidents occurred in the Greater Accra region, 1 in the northern region, and 4 within a span of 2 weeks in May this year alone. Just recently, a 1-story building under construction collapsed in Amamfrom Assemblies, a suburb of Amamfrom in the South municipality, claiming 2 lives and injuring 3 others. As this distressing trend continues, stakeholders in the construction industry have expressed their concerns. A brick molder refuted claims that they compromise on quality to save costs during mass production.
One, you have to consider the kind of sand that you want to use for the blocks. We have 3 types of sand. We have the smooth one for plastering, we have the medium for blocks, and the rough one also. But if you use a smooth one for the blocks, you won't get the quality that you want. But if you use the medium, because there's this kind of rough, it's mixed, so you get a quality. And if you want blocks, 1 cement bag, you should at least get about 30 blocks. That's for a quality block. But some people do even go to 40, 45. You see, so the more the blocks, the lower the quality. So that's also a problem. That's what I think they do most. But mixing with inferior goods, some may do, but most of the problem is what I'm telling you.
At a building materials outlet, a vendor revealed that the recurring collapses are primarily attributed to human behavior. He explained that despite the warnings, some stubborn customers insist on purchasing cheaper products.
In terms of the work they are going to do, so like for the concrete work, as for the cement, they request for the 42.5 R. And that's for the mortar work, they use 32.5 R. But let's say for recently, sometimes they came in for maybe the cheapest one because they say they don't have money. And so they just came in and asked for the lowest one. But some came in for the highest one in terms of the work they are going to do.
So when people come here to buy from you, to buy building materials from you, do you take them through probably, let's say, let them know the quality of the product?
I ask them the work they are going to do. So I can choose for them. So you can use this one, but they will decide for themselves. Yeah.
So when they decide that they prefer the cheaper ones or let's say the inferior ones, you just let them go?
You can't stop them because what do you call it? You describe everything to the person, but if you say, I don't have money, what will you do? Me too, I don't have money to buy for them, so I'll sell for them like that.
In an interview with Citi News, Foster Osai Akono, who is the president of the Ghana Institute of Architects, attributed the collapse of buildings to the negligence of certain regulatory bodies.
Where if those who are issuing the permit do not have the right capacities, it becomes increasingly difficult to understand exactly what document they have and what. So, for instance, you don't just issue structural drawings, but there are other requirements, which some of which are the soil investigation or the soil test, what we call geotechnical survey, and that will also inform the structural engineer who is designing the structural aspect of the project in terms of the foundation and what have you. The soil report will also let you know the soil bearing capacity, among others. So if those issuing the permit do not have the requisite capacity in terms of qualification and experience, then it becomes difficult they let things just go under the water. The other thing is what we call development control, where it is expected of the authorities, that matter, to make sure that whatever development is going on, they monitor it. They do what we call state by state. So they don't leave the developer go full stream without they checking to make sure that the right thing is done according to the drawings that they have approved, according to the specifications among others.
Additionally, Engineer Abdullah Mahama, a road and building consultant, advised the public to seek the services of professionals to work on their project in order to prevent any untoward incidents.
You see that the concrete that are supposed to come in that kind of blocks are powdery. And once they are powdery, you know that the water to cement ratio is not being done according to design, where you have a lot of sand instead of more cement, so the mixed proportions are different. And I've noticed with some keen interest that the iron rods that are in the system, people are changing the high tensile and using the mild steel. The two come in different categories. They have different strength. So, and the size, the costs are also different. So if you see people starting to use the mild steel for otherwise high tensile design, we are going to have some of these problems. And cement, for instance, has jumped from like 54 cedis last year to about 95 cedis now. And so if you have, and there are two types, there's a 42.5R and then 32.5R. The 42.5R has a higher strength. So when clients are not well informed by their supervisors and they go in and buy the 32.5R for otherwise 42.5R concrete, these are some of the things that we're going to experience in the system. So iron rods, cement, even chippings has gone high. And all that I want to say is that we need to have proper or well-established or engineers to supervise our drawing, our buildings for us. Otherwise, we're going to have challenges like we begin to have in the system. And there should be a great concern to government to actually see to it that we get the bad nuts out of the system.